Hello again, friends! Larysa here, Happiness Archaeologist. Anyone who knows me knows I am a big proponent of breathing. Like I may have mentioned in another video, as someone who experiences asthma, it can be sometimes troubling to get a full deep breath, and the majority of people do not take full deep breaths. I talk a lot about this with laughter yoga, but especially in our culture, we're so big into holding in our stomach so that we look nice and standing up straight, but in reality, we need to release our stomach so that we can get a full deep breath. In addition to not often taking a deep enough breath, we often don't release all our air, and so we've still got, let's say, 30% of that used up air as we're taking in what may even be a decent sized breath, but if we haven't gotten out and expelled the used air, that's not as effective. So if your offices allow for this exercise, you may want to try lying down on the ground, because if you'll notice babies on their back, they breathe correctly. Their stomachs go in and out. And when you're on your back with your knees up, you could have your hands by your sides or hands on your stomach. It's very difficult to breathe incorrectly. A lot of times when we're standing and we get nervous, we're breathing and our shoulders are going up and we're kind of only getting air into about here when we want to get it into the belly. So if you can, you could lay down on the ground and just kind of breathe quietly and notice, put your hands on your stomach and notice the air coming in and out and how much the belly's moving. If you can't go on the ground, that's fine. Stand and just try to have a straight spine, but not standing up so straight that you're holding tension. And again, put hands on the belly. And as they say, try to breathe into the belly. Try to get the belly moving as much as possible. And on the out breath, when you think you're done, keep pushing. If you've ever had a pulmonary test, you go, and when you think you're done, they say, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you're like, and you really think you are absolutely at your last minuscule bits of breath, and they still say, keep going, keep going, keep going. So you keep trying. We may not need to take it to that extreme, but it can be good to realize that just the air that you kind of naturally expel is not fully getting out the full amount. So try using your diaphragm and your abdominal muscles to keep on going before another deep breath in. After you've tried that for a bit, again, feel free to pause the video in between to have everybody trying these exercises. You can also take a deep breath in and let it out with a sound. That can help expel it as well. So, hold it, and even louder. This might be a time for a neck roll. Stretch it out a bit. Make sure you're not holding tension in here and in here. Shake it out a bit. This time, we can stick our tongue out and make a noise. Might want to pause it, do that a few times. And this time, tongue out, shaking our head back and forth. That's very similar to an exercise we do in laughter yoga. And this time, we can even wiggle our tongue back and forth inside our mouth. With tongue out, though. Now, if any one of you experienced TMJ or just tension in the jaw generally, you might be familiar with jaw massage and how good it can feel to loosen up those muscles. And sticking out the tongue helps with that. You know, we often, in the same way that we don't move our bodies as much as we could, it's good to exercise the tongue, loosen it up, give yourself a jaw massage, some of the muscles right in here You can stick your thumb in there and kind of wiggle it around. And then all these muscles that open and close the jaw and often get tension. We may not realize we're clenching our jaw, but they can get tension, and that can cause headaches and just generally not feel good. So giving them, you can use even your knuckles if you want, just getting in there and giving a massage. This particularly feels good for me. Different combinations might feel good for others, but highly recommended. It's been recommended to me by doctors and dentists and the hygienists, and even as a singer, because a lot of activity goes on here. You can even get in here. Self-massage is a wonderful tool. There's a lot of people are going to hold not just tension here, but these muscles get very sore. They're holding up your head all day, turning your neck and whatnot. And I find personally, I may not get knots right in this area, but they definitely get sore. And so to just give them a little bit of attention and kind of help, a lot of your lymph glands live here. So giving a little assistance in moving around some of the energy and fluid in your body and your neck. You don't even have to use that much pressure, but kind of it reminds me of what cats do when they're kind of massaging each other or people. But just kind of letting the fingers of your pads, the pads of your fingers, kind of help move around some of the muscle in there. So you can take a break now and work on that for a few minutes. You could even work on it with a buddy if you'd like, but it can feel very, very soothing.